guys, if you've been following my Instagram, you'll see that we've added a new addition to our family, Pancakes. Pancakes is a Holland lop. So lops are rabbits that have the floppy ears, and Holland lops are one of the most common to find in Japan. You'll generally find two types of rabbits in Japan. Is either a Netherland dwarf, Nederlando dwarf, or a Holland lop or Hollandorop. The reason for the popularity of these two types of rabbits is because of their size. Netherland dwarfs are quite small, and Holland lops are the smallest of the lops. They're even smaller than the mini lops. Now, of course, in Japan, you're unable to get a rabbit if your apartment building does not allow pets. Of course, for many people living in Japan, it is quite difficult getting a pet, like a dog or a cat, because most buildings do not allow pets. In fact, many of the contracts will say, petto kinshi, which means pets are prohibited. Sometimes you'll find on some apartment contracts that it is petto soudanka, which means that there's a possibility of being able to have a pet upon consultation. So for example, if you have a pet that's not a very big pet or a loud pet or anything like that. Our building actually does not allow pets. But we didn't decide to get a pet without permission. Fortunately, we did contact our landlord and get special permission to get a small animal, or shoudobutsu, which can be different types from usagi or rabbits, or moromoto or guinea pigs, as well as fish. The stipulations that we have to meet is that there can't be any noise, any smell, or any damage. So let's hope that we can get our deposit back. Fortunately for us, we've already lived in the building for over a year, so we had developed quite a good amount of trust with our landowner because we've never had any complaints. But to be honest, I'm pretty sure that if Boya wasn't Japanese, we would not have been able to negotiate the terms. If I was just a foreigner wanting a pet in this building, probably I would be declined. Fortunately, we were approved, so I went on the search for finding a rabbit. So there are 3 avenues of which you can get a rabbit in Japan. There is adoption or sato oya. If you look on the internet, there are places that have sato oya boshu or up for adoption. However, for some reason at the time, almost all the rabbits in my area were boshu kette, which means that they had already been adopted, but the listing was still up. Another avenue that you can go is through a rabbitry or rabbitery, also known as a usagi senmonten. Probably in more natural English, it would be a registered breeder. And then lastly is pet stores. Now, I'm not a big fan of the chain pet stores. I find that they are quite sad and the conditions don't seem to be the greatest, so I didn't want to put my money in that. One thing that you'll notice is that getting a rabbit in Japan, even from an usagi senmonten, it's quite expensive. I had heard that in places like the UK and America, you can get rabbits for under $100. But in Japan, I do believe that prices are higher in order to keep people from mass breeding them, which I think is a really good thing because that is an issue in places like the UK and America where rabbits are often bought as cheap pets for children who end up unable to take care of those rabbits and then they get abandoned. So for me, because the sato oya wasn't available in my area, my next option was to go to an usagi senmonten. Even the usagi senmonten in my area, all the rabbits had been adopted except for one, which was not very close, but close enough that we could get to if we drove. So after watching so many YouTube videos and channels about rabbits, I decided that I would start rabbit proofing my place right away. I'm gonna move all this stuff, but we're gonna probably use this whole area as a pen. So we called a rabbitery or a usagi senmon, and they have a Holland lop that we are looking into. So we might go and say hello and see if we can have some kind of connection with it. But honestly, it didn't take us very long to fall in love with her and want to take her. And she was the only one left out of her 4 siblings. I'm surprised she was the only one left. I thought personally she was the cutest of her 4 siblings, but that's just me, I'm biased. After putting down a deposit and hitting up Seria, which is a hyakin or 100 yen shop here in Japan, we decided to set up our initial X-Pen enclosure that we would have in our extra bedroom. So we just measured the space we want to use, and we want to use like as much space as possible to make a big pen for it. Let's do this. We have so far. It's still a work in progress. Give you an idea of how big it is. I think, and it's still like a very young bunny, so this should be enough space to do zoomies, at least at the beginning, before we can free roam.
You should sit.
You can be.
That's big enough for a small bunny.
Yeah.
And we can extend when she grows.
Today's the day, guys. It's bunny day. We've got the cage. I don't want to say cage. I want to say habitat. We've got the habitat set up. Obviously, I want to free roam the bunny as much as we can, but it has to be supervised free roaming, at least until we know how much the bunny's gonna chew on stuff, especially, you know, little bunnies tend to chew on everything. So I want to make sure we have lots of things for it to chew on. But I think once it's trained to like poo in the litter box and stuff, we can do a little bit more free roaming. Off we go. As you can see, my mirror's in a different place. We've done some rearranging of the apartment. So we've got our rental car. We've got the poles in the rental car. We're gonna go home once and drop some stuff off and then head to Ikea. Yep. We went to Ikea or Ikea. Done. As well as Nitori to get some more things that I had seen online. And then we took the car to the rabbitry. We're now gonna drive an hour away to go get bunny.
42 minutes.
I'm gonna try to rest my eyes a little bit before then. So we're just having a break before we go to the rabbitry, and before we can take the rabbit home, we have to have a 2-hour lecture. They have like this whole book that we have to go through, which I think is really great. I haven't really heard of normal pet stores doing that. I want to avoid like pet store chains because I feel like they just want to sell the animal and dump it on whoever. Then after we have the lecture, we actually bought a carrier at the place to bring back with us. We're not buying a cage there because I don't really want to have my rabbit in a small cage. Stop. Unlike a pet store, the registered breeders or rabbitries are quite strict, but they were really nice setting us up with initial hay and pellets and pee pads and basically a whole starter kit, which was included in the price. We ended up spending initially 50,000 yen on just pancakes, plus another 40,000 yen for the carrier. And then of course we wanted to buy a few kilos of Timothy hay. We wanted to buy some food and pee pads in advance as well as a few toys. So I think we ended up spending about 6.5 mon or 65,000 yen right from the get-go, not including the stuff we bought from Nitori and Ikea and Seria. But hey, who said that having a pet is a cheap thing? Then we were able to bring her home. We were told by the Usagi Senmonten, particularly when you're bringing a rabbit home by car, it is important to check their nose to see if it's running. This is a sign of car sickness, in which case it's important to pull the car over and let the rabbit rest a little while. Fortunately, we didn't see any signs of car sickness. Here she is. Are you ready to explore soon? Somebody was sniffing around Daddy. Enjoying running around, binking? Next was basically all the rabbit proofing that I did. I did everything from putting racks in front of shelves. So I put up a new shelf that's really strong for this stuff. These actually have lids on them, to putting pool noodles under the sofa. And what's good about the pool noodles is that you can easily remove them for when we put her back in the pen. Cord protectors on every single cord that couldn't be put away. Organizing cords and putting away cords wherever I could. Cords are definitely the biggest thing for rabbit proofing because it looks like something to chew on for a rabbit. We also picked up a wireless camera that can also see in the dark. So even when Boyo is at work, or I'm at work. I'm not at work very long, but during that time, we can keep an eye on Pancakes. I've got the camera set up, and we've got Pancakes. She's in a happy, floppy position. Another quick shopping run. Okay, I just got home, but while I was walking home, I checked the camera to check in on her, and she was flopped over. And when a bunny flops over like that, it means extreme happiness and bliss. Okay, so I'm on my floor now. I picked up, this is non-alcohol pet cleaning spray. I got these apple tree rabbit sticks, which is going to be great for her to chew on for her teeth. I picked up this clock that's also a thermometer as well as a humidity, like it tells you the humidity as well, which is really important. More cord protectors. I also got this basket for just anything high enough to put anything into, as well as for when we're not using these. I'm really glad that we just went to Seria to get everything we needed to make an X pen ourselves. It ends up actually being cheaper. Yes, it was a lot of money, but when you go to, say for example, a pet store to get a tiny cage, some of them were 16,000 yen or 18,000 yen or even 22,000 yen, and they were quite small. Update the next morning. I put a little tunnel here for Pancakes because she can actually go on this roof, and it was way too close to the wall. And she's a baby right now, so we're definitely gonna have to make the walls higher. I gave her a digging box. Oh, I think she likes the digging box I made her. And we moved her food to this corner. I'm trying to figure out where she likes to pee the most, because actually you should have your litter box like where the hay is, so that, because they like to pee and poo while they eat. I don't know where she likes to pee yet. Where do you like to pee, Pancakes? Where do you like to pee? This is kind of our setup so far. Woke up this morning and checked the camera, and this little one was outside her pen. Fortunately, she was right next to the bowl outside her pen because I think she was expecting breakfast, but she jumped out. I know this is definitely not tall enough, so we're going to extend it higher. Fortunately, yesterday we bought some more of these racks anyway, and Boyo is going to make a door. Even if it's quite tall, we can still have her come in and out. Are you planning your escape already? She's too smart. It's a nice little kiss. Look what Boyo made. Look at this. And it's even got some cushioning. Fantastic. Pancakes. We are at it again, making it taller. Oh no. Okay, so we've made it even bigger, just by a bit. Some more toys that I got from Amazon. These balls, as well as this bigger ball, because it seems that she likes like the grass things, and I want her to have lots of things to play with. And this banana leaf tube, because she's been really enjoying her banana leaf toy as well. How do you like that, Pancakes? This little ball, huh? I do have to say, getting a rabbit in Japan, I didn't go through the process overseas of getting a rabbit, but I've heard that it's quite simple. Whereas getting a rabbit here in Japan, it seems that there's more of a process. For example, the Usagi Senmonten will not allow you to take a rabbit home if you are allergic. It could be if you are allergic to rabbits or even if you're allergic to hay, because hay makes up about 80% of a rabbit's diet. Rabbits are really fragile, so they're not really recommended for young kids. Also, rabbits actually can't really regulate their body temperatures well. They do so through their ears, so they have a really hard time in warm climates. That's something we're going to have to think about in the summertime because Japan gets quite hot in the summertime. Honestly, not everyone can free roam, and that's something that I'm unable to do as well. But we can have supervised free roaming time, which gives her space and time to binky and zoomy and get all that energy out. If you guys are as in love with pancakes as we are, I update constantly on Instagram, probably more so than I should. I've become a rabbit mom, what can I say? Boyo and I are still on this journey as rabbit parents, but I just wanted to tell you of our experience here in Japan. If you like this video or any of my other content, please subscribe, or you can follow me on Instagram for lots of updates of different things here in Japan, as well as updates on pancakes and even updates on case numbers in Japan, which I keep track of on my Instagram. ぜひ登録してください。あまり日本語使わないけど、英語の勉強になるかもしれない。And we'll see you in the next one. じゃあね。